So there's been a lot of focus over the last day on the budget. It's pretty extensive coverage. I know that you've been taking a lot of media calls on this. What would you say are the key outtakes for business?
The first thing I'd say, Tate, is supporting for today, building for tomorrow. The title of this year's budget is an interesting one because businesses are what will drive the ability to build for tomorrow. So therefore, we were pretty surprised to see that business was barely mentioned in the budget. And the actual issue around the cost of doing business has largely been ignored in the budget, which is pretty disappointing.
Yeah, and I think some of the commentary we've been hearing has been that small businesses in particular are facing really big cost increases. Do you know what some of those cost increases are?
Yeah, look, we've been keeping quite a close eye on that, and certainly over the last couple of years there's been a significant amount of new legislation and regulation. So that whole compliance cost has been a significant increase. In fact, it's around $240 a month just on compliance cost alone. And then we're seeing, general costs go up. And small businesses are reporting that it's around $1,500 a month more that they're paying for things like, rent and power and just general overheads. So that's a significant increase in every month for the cost of doing business. And for small businesses, that's really hard for them to be able to absorb those additional costs without passing them on to consumers. And for some of them, that's putting them in a really difficult position.
Yeah. And there was some headline initiatives in the budget around infrastructure. I'd like to hear your thoughts on that and what it means for Canterbury and whether you think we'll get anything out of it.
Look, businesses do tell us that infrastructure remains a real barrier to their investment in growth and productivity. So it is really great to see the budget allocation, a pretty significant allocation of $71 billion. It'll go some way to assisting the chronic infrastructure deficit that we're seeing right across this country. There is a national resilience plan that has been identified in the budget. Obviously, there's some detail yet to come on that. What we're really hoping for, with Christchurch being our second largest city, and of course Canterbury's the powerhouse of our primary sector, our manufacturing and our export sectors, which our country does rely on. And in order to make sure that those sectors can operate efficiently, they need really great infrastructure. So things such as the Ashburton Bridge, which we know is a key part of our infrastructure for the South Island to move our goods across the South Island, as is ensuring that we have reliable Cook Strait crossings to really make sure that we can remove some of that ongoing vulnerability that we currently face in the South Island. So we're really hoping that those couple of things, along with continued investment in our roading and transport infrastructure, are part of that National Resilience Plan.
Yeah, and on that same sort of topic, I know that as the Chamber we've been advocating for better access to R&D to obviously enable growth, innovation and economic growth in the region. Was there anything in the budget for small businesses looking to invest in R&D?
Well, there's certainly been a focus on R&D and innovation in this budget, so it's good to see the government recognising the importance of that. However, they have gone back to the past, in our opinion, in terms of the way in which they're going to do that. Is they're going to fund some innovation hubs which will be based in Wellington. What we've been advocating for is what we believe is a pretty simple measure that will have an immediate impact, and that is to put in place accelerated depreciation for R&D, which enables people to invest right away and actually get a return on that investment. So we worry that the Wellington-centric funding will not be accessible for small businesses, and they are the engines of growth in our economy. We know that New Zealand is made up of 97% of businesses are small. In fact, we have over 580,000 small businesses in New Zealand. So again, this is not necessarily going to have an immediate impact for small business, which is a lost opportunity in our view.
Definitely. And another thing that we've been advocating really strongly for as a chamber and part of the Business New Zealand network is around education and skills development. I know there were some headline initiatives in the budget around that. Do you think they will help get and plug the gaps in our workforce?
Look, they will certainly help. Anything that helps plug the gaps in our workforce, given we know that labour market constraints for business is still a very, very big issue. So, certainly the extra support for early childhood centres and enabling, parents to get back to work or to work in a way that will help address some of those labour market shortages will be welcome. and also, of course, the focus on, potentially, I think, another 57,000 apprenticeships. Again, that's really helpful to build those skills that we need, both now and into the future. So those are, good commitments from the government. We want to make sure that we continue to have a really strong focus on our immigration settings. That's obviously outside of the budget, but there's lots of levers that will be required to be pulled to actually address those labour market shortages, and immigration settings is certainly one of those levers.